How are we doing today, everybody? It is March 9th, 2024. It is 6:16 p.m. It is the professional trader here back with another video. It's Saturday, so today is going to be me just kind of doing an analysis on the week that just passed and taking a look at the trade that I took last week and just my overall performance on how I'm doing on my phase two on my Ftmo account. So this is my Ftmo account, right here. I started I started the new one that they moved on DX trade on February 19th, but I've been go back here. I've been doing let's go here. I've been doing the phase two one since I think this is the phase one since December 14th, or maybe it's phase two. I genuinely don't remember, but January, February, and March now. So it's been about 3 months of me trying to accomplish the same thing on one account. With that has came a lot of patience, but with that has come with a lot of impatience as well. So on the road to trying to build a proper foundation, um, lapses for sure. And, I think my trading most definitely shows that. And I think most definitely how you feel and the things you do as a person kind of go hand in hand with your trading. So, that's a whole thing, within itself. But trading when you're not in the best of a mindset, I think is not the best idea. But, started you know, this phase two, on, a pretty down streak. I think at one point I was down $490, so almost 5%. But, kind of found some flow and, and starting to, pick it back up just a little bit. So, um, you know, not done yet, but potentially, back on the right track to finally being funded. But I know the numbers are not a lot. You know, 5% is only $500. Being up, whatever I'm up is only a couple $100. But the same fundamentals apply whether it's a $10,000 account or whether it's $100,000 account. So, God willing, once I do, finally pass this, I can apply those same skills to, a bigger account size. But yeah. So, right here, we see the profit target is at 500. I'm at 199%. Haven't broken any rules yet. The max loss is $1,000. I've gotten pretty low, 581. But the daily loss, it's at 500. I've gotten to 202. So haven't broken any rules yet. So the account is still active. So, right here, also can see that, have been on, kind of a win streak for sure. More green than red lately. That's ugly, yeah. But a lot of green lately for sure. So on a nice little win streak, but most definitely have to call it, how it is, and say that it wasn't always like that. Just before that, to see that I was taking a lot of losses, and these losses were. I don't want to call them gambles, but I think I was kind of just in my head during this period of time. I've been doing the challenge for a long time and things were starting to just feel kind of stagnant. And with the whole transition thing of FTMO, moving to DX trade, no longer being on MetaTrader, you know, I don't want to say that I was losing like faith in FTMO because I wasn't, but it wasn't feeling as real as it was feeling when it once started. But I'm I'm still prone to believe that, when I do pass, FTMO will give me, my account. And I do know that Funding Pips is a prop firm that lost their access in the United States, but have recently made a comeback. So, it's good to see that, there are prop firms that will still stand, through all the nonsense going on. But yeah, from a losing streak to, a slight winning streak. And, the duration on a lot of the trades I take, because I try to be a more of a day trader, slash swing trader. So I had some trades that lasted 6 days, 7 days. A FOMO trade that I closed real quick lasted 2 minutes, trying to avoid that. Another trade that lasted 4 days, 6 days, 2 days, 7 hours, more of an intraday kind of trade, and then 2 days more of a day trade kind of trade. So just looking to keep that momentum and to finally pass, but just have to keep in mind that I'm not doing anything too special as far as trading. I mean, for anybody who watches my videos, I'm not doing anything special. There's no special knowledge that I'm coming here with, and so that's why I feel like I'm not a teacher, and that's why I feel like I personally have nothing to teach because there's nothing I'm doing that's special. But you know the impulses, corrections, and the impulses again, are a real thing in the market. Fundamentals are a real thing in the market. Price action is a real thing in the market, and the wave theory is a real thing in the market. So, you know, just trying to find some kind of edge, is the goal. And I feel like I've found some kind of edge that can keep me profitable. So it's just have to keep that in mind that the strategy that I have does work. So, no matter how long it is, just have to keep at it. If this was a 100K account that I had, 10% in 3 months, would be great. But that's that. A trade that I took last week was AUDUSD. But real quick, I want to go to Forex Factory and take a look. On Friday, we had NFP come out. Man, excuse me. We had NFP come out. So we see that what was forecasted was 198, and the actual number was 275. But we see we also had a revision in the markets, um, from 353K, right? So what came out was 353,000. But we see on Friday that the number was revised, pretty majorly to 292. But on Friday we beat, the number that was expected. So we had hotter than expected NFP, but we had cooler than expected average hourly earnings and higher unemployment rate as well by 0.2%. So pretty interesting day, as far as Friday goes, because the NFP number better than expected, but a huge change from the number that was given to us last month to the number that is here now, but a better number than what was forecasted, right? So that's pretty mixed. But then we see that we have bearish fundamentals as far as unemployment rate and our average hourly earnings. So I think still keeping the more bearish fundamentals. I feel like the market fundamentally had, at least for the last week or two, has been more bearish. So I think as far as that goes, nothing has really changed on Friday, but I'll talk more about that later. But because of that, and just because of the fundamentally, seems like the market has been kind of weak, cooler than expected numbers, and we on the DXY, we see that we broke this support level right here that was once resistance. Price tried to hold a couple times, but we broke out of it on this candlestick right here. So on that part I was more bearish on the dollar, so I was looking for setups that went along with that. So here is the one and only trade that I took last week, which is AUDUSD. I know it looks kind of messy, but I'll go ahead and clear it out real quick. But my whole mindset on AUDUSD is, basically, we were on a downtrend, clear downtrend, right here, but we started to see a potential shift in the market. Oh, excuse me. We started to see a potential shift in the market after price broke out of this 4 hour resistance right here, right? So clear downtrend. Bounces up here once, fails, bounces again, fails, bounces a third time, fails, for a little bit. This is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 hours. So that's not big impulse candles, but bearish momentum, right? So try to fill again for a third time, right? Before we, broke out of it, with good momentum, retested it and then, broke out of it again, right? So after making these highs, we see we had another, down, kind of slight, downtrend, to the market. But from a wave, theory perspective, if you take the Fibonacci from the high, to this low, we have these Fibonacci levels that price, because it broke out of here, right? And, ideally, textbook, right? You would want the price that breaks, to hold this resistance. You would want it to hold that support, right? So ideally, right, you would want to see price, bounce from here. And I feel like this is where I was kind of getting myself caught up a lot of times, in the last couple months. But in the last couple months, I've most definitely changed that as well, looking for those deeper retracements. But right, but you ideally you want to see those textbook setups, right? Those broken resistances, you want to see them get held at support, right? So when prices pulling, back over here, we see that we have, slight bullish momentum, and it's not, it's not a bad trade. But I feel as far as the first wave goes, you're not looking for that first resistance to be support. You're looking for a more deeper retracement. But I feel like on that second impulse wave, then you can start to look for those, resistance levels, to hold that support. But that's just my idea, right? But we didn't see this once resistance level hold that support, right? And we saw a deeper retrace into the market, right? So from breaking a resistance level to retracing, all the way. It gets, right, it gets kind of confusing, right? But from a Fibonacci standpoint, if we draw this fib from this high to the low, right, we see that we have, these Fibonacci levels that price can potentially correct to, right, before looking for buys again, right? So the most common zones, right, are the 50% level, that 618 level, and then, that 786 level, right? So we see that 618 level tried, to hold, for a bit. We had a little bit bullish momentum, you know, fell back, came up here, wicked, fell back, came up here, came down again, right? Didn't touch that 618, I mean 786 perfectly, just came down a little bit, right? Then, we see that once resistance level, came over here again. And then, instead of tanking, right, like how we did these past couple times, right? We see the next 4 hour candle is, big momentum, right, to the upside. And I think, that candle right there, to me, um, before it broke, this candle was confirmation. Even before it broke, to me, that was confirmation that, this chart, is pretty bullish. But this candle, confirms everything, right? We see a clean change in the direction of the market, right? And this is big, bullish action. So I entered my buys, I think on this candle right here. I don't want to bring all this. Actually, I'll bring all that stuff back. That's a lot. Apologies. Okay, so yes, I entered, right. So, if we go on the 1 hour, I don't really go on the 1 hour, but it looks a lot cleaner, right? We kind of started to, bounce, back and forth, right? And then, we broke out of that, mini resistance. And I feel like once we broke out of this little correction, that was the confirmation that, this chart, was ready, to continue to the upside. So, um, I ended up closing on Friday for, it's right here. I closed for about 90 pips. And then I had closed a little position off of it that same day for about $35. So all in all, about $125. So not a bad trade. It took me up 1.25%. That's the only trade that I took. last week. So, you know, this week, to be another week. But I'll do my market analysis tomorrow, and I'll try to make that video tomorrow. But that's pretty much how my week went on the forex markets. So looking to continue the good momentum, looking to continue to be patient and wait for the proper opportunities and not try to force the opportunity. And yeah. So appreciate to anybody who made it to the end of this video. Um, I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, thank you guys. Thank God as well. And I will see you guys soon.